Hey guys, welcome back to FemmeHead. Today I want to talk about the places I've traveled and how I've made that a reality. I began traveling at a very young age with my parents. We would road trip all over the states. I first went on a plane at the age of 11, I believe. My grandparents surprised us with a trip down to Disney World. When I was 15, we went on a cruise, a Caribbean cruise for their 50th anniversary. I decided at the age of 18 that I wanted to study abroad in Thailand. That was when I was 19. I spent a semester there, so about 5 months. And that's where the travel bug all started. My senior year, I spent the month of Christmas break in Tahiti visiting my then boyfriend who was from there. And then the next fall, after I graduated, I went to Italy for 2.5 weeks to visit a friend who I worked with who's studying abroad there. And then the next spring, Michael and I went to Puerto Vallarta together for the first time. His friend's family has a timeshare there, so they invited us along. And it was a great escape from the Iowa winters. That summer was the first time I went to England. I went there for a facilitator training for Celebration Day for Girls. I'll link that down below. I visited London for the first time and I fell in love. Bath and Oxford. That fall, Michael and I went to Europe together. So we flew into London, spent a weekend there with our friends. And then we flew down to southern France. We biked around, biked up Alpe d'Huez, which was an experience that I was not fully prepared for. We spent a weekend in Paris. We went to Poland, spent most of our time in Bielsko-Biała, where Michael taught English after he graduated from college. And then we went to Germany. And then the following spring, we went to Puerto Vallarta again. Last fall, we went to Asia and Southeast Asia. So we flew into Japan, and then we went to Bali, and we did Thailand. This summer, we went to England, as you may remember, for our friend's wedding. We went into London, did a road trip along the southern coast. The wedding was in Blagden, and then we went down to Brockenhurst and Oxford. Now we're back in Des Moines, and we're leaving in a week for southern France. We're flying into Toulouse, and then gonna be spending some time around Bordeaux with friends. And I'll make a video about that this week, I think, to kind of explain why we're going there. After all of that, you may be wondering, you must be rich. How do you travel all these amazing places? I think I just choose to spend my money on certain things. First thing I want to touch on is the fact that I live in Des Moines, Iowa. It is a very inexpensive place. I think that is one of the biggest factors into why I get to travel to different places. While Des Moines is definitely not New York City or LA or Paris or London, it allows me to travel to those places. If I lived in those places right now, I would not be able to travel anywhere because I'd be working 3 jobs just to afford my rent. I like to find fun ways or challenges for saving money. I like to find make saving money fun. Why doesn't that make sense? I like to make saving money fun. It was a couple years ago. It was when we went to Europe. When we came back, it was November. And I instilled the no eat out November rule. And that's kind of held for the past 3 years because each time we get back from a trip, it's around November. The no eat out November rule, which you guys can borrow and do yourself, is you don't go out and eat food in the month of November. It's like no shave November, but it's no eat out November. I don't spend a lot of money on clothing. As many of you may know, I'm gotten very into minimalism, and I've always shopped at thrift stores. So those two things combined are, I don't go out and drink on the weekends. I have nothing against drinking, nothing against people going out and partying. I just very much so dislike the bar scene. It's not the place for me. I see people rack up over $100 bar tabs on a weekly basis, and that's just mind-boggling to me. There's a ton of little money-saving tricks out there that you can look into, and I talk about all of this more in a video I made about minimalism and saving money, and I will link that down below. My biggest thing is for the people that are always I never have enough money. If you are really confused or you have a lot of anxiety or worry about your money, take the time and for a month, write down every single dollar in and every single dollar out, because it makes you kind of realize the little dumb things you spend your money on that aren't important to you, so you can kind of nix those. Or even if it's things you enjoy, you can be holy cow, I'm spending way too much money on that. My other tip that goes along with that is go and pick up a personal finance book. I know it sounds so boring and stupid, and you may be thinking, I don't have money to be saving, I'm barely getting by now. And I think there's this misconception that you have to have a lot of money to be smart with your money. My friend and I read a personal finance book, Financially Fearless by Alexa Von Tobel. I'll link that down down below as well. You're never too young to start thinking about money. I don't know what it is about money, but people are like really weird about like talking about it and like people knowing how much they spend or make, and it's just a very like uncomfortable, anxiety-ridden thing, and it shouldn't be. It's money. It's something that's part of all of our lives. Get educated about your money and get smart with it. So I guess my biggest takeaways from this video are like, you don't have to be like rich and famous or like some old man to go travel. Spend your money on things that are your top priorities, and for me, one of them is travel. All right, guys, that is all I have. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions or tips or tricks on how you save money or make travel a reality, comment them down below, and don't forget to subscribe. And until next time, I'll see ya. Bye, guys.